Hello and welcome to Silverrun Forest. This is episode 11 and we're in the month of September. So we've just woken up early morning. We'll go and check out the sheep and see what wool has been produced and get some more wool into the spinnery. As you can tell, I'm a bit paranoid about getting caught out short on fabric for this next boat build. So I'm spending quite a bit of time just making sure that spinnery is up and operational, and I think we should be okay fabric wise for this next build, so we shouldn't have a long delay, well, as long a delay in the last phase of the boat build. I think it still takes a little while for all the bits and pieces to be completed, but it won't be as long as the first one, let's put it that way. Right, let's go and see what the white sheep have got. Yeah, they've got another full pallet as well. So it's 2,000 litres going into the spinnery. That should keep them going for the best part of today. And then, of course, before we go to bed at night, we will make sure that it is topped up again. Hopefully, we will be able to take a pallet of fabric down to the boatyard sometime during this month as well. Right, the other big thing this month is that there's a big purchase coming up. If you hang on till sort of the middle of the video, you'll see exactly what it is. Right, let's just go and check up on the boatyard and see how we're going. Yeah, fabric, so we've got 2,300, so we need another pallet and a little bit to be completely sure that we've got enough. So I think it's 3,600 fabric that is required, so I think we're going to make that quite comfortably before that is ready to go outside to get the mast put up, etc. So I'm very happy with that. So that's coming along nicely. Just pop up to the roller coaster and see how that's going. Just make sure that there's enough of everything. We will do some topping up of some of the requirements during the course of the day. Right, so time to get onto the daily chores. Just a quick check on the forest. It's starting to come up a little bit. So those are definitely bigger than they were last month, but it's a slow process. Right, let's get some trees cut down. Get the old trusty tree harvester out, still working perfectly. Really do like it. So glad I chose this one. It's very easy to operate, and so far I haven't come across many trees that I can't deal with. And of course those that you can't deal with, you can always cut down with the chainsaw should the need be. And all the small ones, as we've witnessed when I was clearing the New Forest area, we can get rid of with the mulcher. So not too many problems there. Just get this cut up and then we'll get some loaded. Well, first of all I'll cut down, off camera I'll cut down enough trees to be able to make a load to take up to the old sawmill. Yeah, it just works perfectly, you know. Fantastic. Right, let's get the old tractor out and go and do a bit of loading. Just load this first batch and then we'll do a jump cut to us leaving for the old sawmill. Might have to just use a little bit of the implement just to pull it closer. There we go, that's looking better. It's close enough to get both of those together. I do like to generally try and get at least 2 logs at a time. It's not always possible, but sometimes I get more. But I just like to get 2. It just feels like it's more productive. It is of course more productive. It also just feels that way, but I don't spend too much time trying to get 3, 4, 5, 6 at a time, just because you can spend more time trying to get it organized with this system than it takes just to do 3 lots of 2. Let's just get that in. I say this trailer has been rather robust with a bit of rough treatment it gets as we load. So we've got a load, we'll just squeeze through the buildings here and we'll see you at the old sawmill where we are now. Just about to offload, or we are offloading already. And that's all done. On our way back down to the forest. Park this up here. We'll go and get the flatbed and then we'll go and clear all those roof tiles that I had. I've got plenty of roof tiles that need to be shifted, so we'll put some into, we'll top up to the roller coaster until it can't take any more, and then we'll pop down to the boatyard, top that up until it can't take any more, and then we'll sell the rest at the market. Just still need to get a little bit more capital going to make the purchase that I have in mind. I think this should, well, if there's enough left over after we've topped up everything else, this should just about get us over the top. We might have to top up with some other, well, we've got to top up the roller coaster in any case with some tables and chairs and such like. And there's probably be a pallet of cupboards or armoires as they call them, which can be sold as well. Right, so that's not taking any more, so that's good. We'll go down, back down to the boatyard, and this should take quite a few. So we've still got upwards of 17,000 litres of roof tiles. Well, what I was doing is I was putting a lot of the extra planks into the roof tiles because I know that the boatyard needs lots of roof tiles. Right, it looks like that's pretty much taken everything. It's not roof tiles, it's actually floor tiles. Why am I calling it roof tiles? Right, here we go. We're just going to put these into the market. Get these sold. I've got to move that branch. When I was clearing that field, one of these branches while I was doing the mulching got pushed onto the train tracks, and just before a train came by and just whacked it off onto here. Still haven't moved it. I'll have to do that in the next episode, if I remember, of course. Right, so we've got quite a few staircase banisters which are ready to be collected, which also have to go into the roller coaster. I think if not this month, certainly early next month we'll have to top up the raw material for the wood turner, because I think that wood is down onto its last legs. It has lasted a long time. I think I put wood in there in the first episode and it's lasted now, I mean, episode 11. With one full boat built. Roller coaster is, I'm not sure what sort of percentage it's done, but it must be well over halfway, just looking at the change that has taken place. Right. Oof, nearly hit that. Let's just get this onto the back. We did sell some of the bowls and pepper grinders to the cafe. We'll take another load back as well before we leave here. Right now I'll load these up and then I'll go and pick up what's at the furniture factory, which is right next door, so you don't have to move the flatbed trailer anywhere. You can just load it directly from here. So we'll put those three on, and now we've got some chairs, some tables, a couple of pallets of chairs, a couple of pallets of tables, and there's one pallet of armoire cupboards. It's what they look like to me. There we go. Very straight. Well, we've got nothing else to come on there, we'll just push it in and Make sure it doesn't fall off. We'll strap it all up. Right, so let's get going to our first port of call. We'll go to Rollercoaster first. Get this offloaded. Strap it up first. And off we go. There we go, straps on. Nice little load. That should bring in a little bit more. And I think after this we should pretty much have enough to make my intended purchase. Can't wait to try this out. It's one of the new machines in the Silverrun edition. So really looking forward to trying it out. Let's just pop this off to the market again. This market is very convenient. I'm selling a little bit extra into the markets and that because I've been seeing some videos on people saying that sometimes things get lost with the train. I personally haven't noticed it yet, but I need to keep an eye on that for the future. I've been pretty happy with what I've been getting, and I've been delivering to the north operation more than the south, so we'll see how it goes. Right, this is what we want. The L180, the Volvo L180H, the big beast. And I'm going to use it in the mine. Because that mine is so close, I don't need to... If I put the big bucket, there's a couple of big buckets, we'll choose which one. But if we put one of those big buckets on, then we can just shuttle the actual front end loader up and down between the factory and the mine without having to load up a lorry or a truck or whatever one wants to call it. Right, so not many choices in terms of design, bits and pieces here and there. So you can't increase the horsepower, 330 horsepower, pretty heavy. Right, so we've got that bought. Now we're going to have a look at the front end loaders, or the wheel loaded tools, and we'll get a front end bucket, tip bucket or whatever they're called. And there we go. So that one there, 3,500 litres. That one's got the tines on it. They might have to use that, but that's 10,000 litres. I'm sure that'll pick it up. Gonna take a chance. I'm going to take the big one. I suppose technically we should take the one with the spade. The spade sort of tines on the front, but really it's half the size. It's only 5,000. Oh, only 3,500 litres. When you can put 10,000. It's worth a try. I'm gonna get that one. We will lose a little bit if we have to sell it, but it won't be too much. Right, so we've got the lowbed ready, and we'll get that loaded and transported up to the mine. Let's get it all hooked up first. And there it is, the beast. Right. Let's jump in. Still got to get rid of these saplings, tripping all over them now. I really want to play with a new toy. Right, let's see, is there enough space? Just about. We'll made this very tight in terms of the loading. But luckily it's hinged in the front, so pretty maneuverable. There we go. Let's put this on the back of the low loader, and then I'll do the trip up to the mine on a bit of a time lapse, and we'll do the last bit live just to see whether this Volvo lorry can get this heavy load up that sort of steep incline going into the mine. It should. I mean, it's 750 horsepower, but this is a pretty heavy load. Be careful while we load it up here. Should have moved those ramps slightly out towards the side. That's fine. Yeah, it looks pretty centered. So take it all the way forward so we can lower the bucket down onto the top ramp. Just a bit of added stability. Oh, we don't want to lift the front wheels off. Now, put the bucket flat. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Always the quest for perfection, always messing things up. I had it right the first time. Just can't stop myself from messing around with things like that. Any event, that's about right. Right, let's get out. Let's get this all strapped up. Let's get on our way. Yeah, it's about as centered as we can get. It's pretty good. Right, got that all strapped in. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Bring up the ramps and let's get going. Just do a U-turn here. Hopefully there's not too much traffic. It'll have to stop first in any event. Put on the beacons. Nifty little internal beacons on this Volvo, so you don't always see them that much from the back. I'm not sure that they're as effective as they should be if they were on top of the roof. Right, we'll just this first part on a time lapse, just until we get to the. We'll go up the steep hill, and as we're coming down, I'll put it onto normal run so that I can show you, because there's that hairpin bend as we come down this steep hill. So I think we need to control our speed coming down here. Get on the air brakes as we take this hairpin really wide. I think we don't want to end up in the drink. Feel that load pushing a little bit. Yeah, as normal, sometimes you have to be as careful going downhill as you are going uphill. Yeah, that's it. Handle that pretty well. No real issues there. The next issue is trying to get it up this hill, or first of all through the strut supports for the mine buildings at the top. I think it'll go through. I think the height will be okay. It might worry just a little bit about the width of that bucket, because it is, it's hanging over a little bit over both sides. There we go. Oh, through there, okay. This is where I was a bit worried. It's going to be a little bit tight, so we'll need to just do a bit of maneuvering. Yeah, I just had to get the angle right through there. Yep, we're through. No problem. Now we start getting to the really steep parts, and of course we've had to really slow down to get through those struts. Luckily there's this, I suppose in cycling terms you'd call it a false flat. So compared to everything else it looks flat, but it's still on the way up. And here we come to the really steep gradient. Right. I mean, it's dropping speed, but it's doing okay. It's not like a dead stop, you know. Still at 19, 20 kilometers per hour, should I say. Yeah, that's fine. It'll get us up. Really struggling, I suppose, with the turn as well. Right, here we are at its place of work. Let's get it off, and we'll just put it next to the old equipment just to give you some idea of the of scale. The difference in size is fantastic. Just looks so good. Right, yeah, let's get off. Let's get going. Let's get going. Very manoeuvrable with the hinged front, really. Almost looks like it should be driving that way. Yeah, that's the back. Yeah, there we go. If we just park this here, we can kind of get the size, scale of the size of this machine compared to the old machines that we were using. Of course, they're also Volvo. These are the granddaddy of this machine. This is the, might even be the great granddaddy, but certainly the granddaddy. Right, let's get a loaded up. Make short work of this pile of ore. I think because we had shut down and we haven't really topped up that much since then. We'll probably have more than a full load for the factory, so we'll top the factory up until it's full. I think that'll be about, I think it's like 60,000, so 6 loads. Right. You can feel the weight on the front as we're going, so it's going to be a little bit tricky going down this first part. It's alright. It's a little bit wobbly, but it's not too bad. And there's this tiny little rise coming up here. We should be alright. Yeah, we're fine. Now the next thing is, will it take it directly from, or will it just dump itself? It should take it. Yeah, no problem at all. Right, so that's going to work quite nicely. Very happy with that. And that's a lot quicker than spending 5 or 6 loads to load up the old lorry, and then of course we had to come and dump it and get back again and load again, and then it took hours. This is just so easy. And of course it's not that far to between where it needs to be picked up and where it needs to be deposited. So that in itself makes the purchase of this land as the initial land that we started off all worthwhile. Next episode we'll have to come and clear all the extra metal that's there. Well, I think that's what we're going to call it today. Once again, ending off on a nice exciting part of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. Cheerio.